Hi, Aries. Welcome to your tarot reading. If you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. Either way, thank you so very much for being here. Thank you for sharing your energy with me. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to pull a traditional Celtic cross spread. Whatever message comes out is what Spirit has for the collective at this time. I've set that intention with this deck and with my guides. So if you are here because this popped up in your feed, then this message is for you. And if you are here because of the title, then this message is definitely for you. So let's get you a message and see what Spirit has for you. 10 of Wands, carrying a lot of burdens, huh? Let's see what this is about. So be sure and like the message. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you like the messages. All of your interactions really help me to grow my channel, and I really very much appreciate that. But it also pushes the messages out so that others can receive it as well. So I really appreciate you guys doing that. It helps others get the guidance that they need as well. On the bottom of the deck, we have that 10 of Wands. And the 10 of Wands is about burdens and, you know, being close to burnout, just carrying a lot of overwhelm. And this could be like opinions of others, responsibilities, right? Like maybe taking on way too much, working too much, but it's needing to know that you are almost at the end of a cycle here, right? Because 10s are at the end. And then, you know, protect your energy by saying no. Only take on what you can handle and prioritize your well-being and your health, right? Because, you know, he has all of these wands here, but his castle is right here. So he's almost there and he can lay all of these burdens down as soon as he gets home. But, you know, it is very much like carrying a lot. So the present situation is the Tower, and the Tower is about sudden change. This is about, you know, like that upheaval energy. Like there was this breaking down of a structure in order to build something new, right? So the Tower is a lot of change, a lot of chaos. And I feel like there's, you know, this wanting to hold on and not allowing things to break down so that something else can come in here, right? Like a tower happens to break you free and it releases everything so that you are able to rebuild that structure on a more stable foundation, right? So you could have been through a tower moment and that's what's causing all of the burdens and all of the overwhelm and burnout, right? Like when we have massive change, that's a big deal. But it's also about needing to let go of outdated ways of being or ways of thinking about situations, right? Try not to hold on to those because, again, this is breaking down so that it can set you free in order to build a more solid foundation. So the blockage here is the Magician, and the Magician is that master manifestor energy, right? Like he creates his reality and he manifests what he wants and then takes that inspired action to create it. And he has all of the tools that he needs in order to create that life, right? So air, earth, fire, and water. He has the swords, the cups, the wands, the pentacles. When this is in a blockage, it can be like maybe trying to force a situation or really doubting your ability to create or manifest and experiencing a block with your connection, your identity, that connection to spirit, right? Very not connected with your personal power and really needing to reconnect with the divine, reconnect with your intuition, right? And redirect your energies. So, you know, if we've had a tower moment and, you know, we're all focused on that chaos and we're not letting go of an old way of being, this is needing to refocus your priorities. Again, with that 10 of Wands, if you're carrying a lot of burdens, this is really about you knowing that you can handle whatever spirit gives you and then focus on what you can control, what you can handle in order to rebuild or in order to get through this time, right? So the root cause of this is the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is Sagittarius energy. That's that fire energy, right? And the Knight of Wands is about like passions and taking some kind of inspired action here, right? That passionate, fiery energy. And I mean, you are Aries, you are a fire sign, you're a fellow fire sign here. So, but this is about like fast action and passions, right? In the reverse, this can be like self doubt, related to a specific goal or situation, or just in general. Things haven't turned out the way that you'd hope. There's delays and misunderstandings, right? But again, knowing that that's all part of life and that everything happens for a reason. Trying to find the silver lining in things, which I know can be very difficult. Um, just have that patience and again, tune into your intuition. If you're doubting yourself, if you're doubting your personal power here, really, not taking action because you're doubting yourself and how you create your reality, right? Again, a tower moment can really take your personal power away. It makes you feel like you don't have control, right? You don't have the ability to do what you want to do. And I feel like that's a mindset, right? Like really knowing that you can control certain aspects, right? In the recent past, we have the Star card, and the Star card is about hope and faith. This is like that renewal after we've had like a really difficult time, right? And especially that tower moment. This is like after a time of like transformation or something very painful, this renews your faith and hope for the future. And, get inspired and get back in that state of creative flow, and then heal yourself, right? With meditation, journaling, and really focus on healing your connection to spirit, and then healing from whatever pain it is that you're going through, right? And that's, in mind, body, spirit, all of it, right? So I really feel like there's this time of needing to heal and really needing to have faith, right? Like um, don't give up your faith in whatever it is that you believe in, right? I just feel like you've felt very disconnected, and this is urging you to reconnect with spirit. Inspiration is on the way, so don't give up, right? That star is wish fulfillment. It is like that bright light shining down here. So, have faith in the process. It doesn't mean that you're not on the right path. And I feel like it just focus on your healing and again, what you can control. Focus on that connection with spirit in order to guide you forward after a tower moment. I've dealt with a lot of tower moments in my 43 years, and before I was awake, I didn't really know how to handle them. And now that I am able to utilize my tools and learn from the past lessons, I know that meditation, going for a walk, journaling, even just spending time with friends or, painting, whatever it is that brings you joy, do those little things because that's going to help heal you and move you forward through these really difficult times, right? And it's okay to take breaks and it's okay to take care of yourself because that's what's going to help heal you through this. So the message from your higher self or your spirit guides is the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is this, that sacred knowledge and then being connected, like that bridge between heaven and earth, right? So this is about beliefs, traditions, and, maybe getting a mentor. So maybe, you're kind of like seeking some spiritual guidance. That can be from, a tarot reader, that can be from a psychic medium, that can be from your own intuition, right? Again, that connection with spirits here. So maybe deepening your spiritual practice, studying some healing modalities that are going to help you, and then deepening that spiritual knowledge. And then, also be open to a teacher, right? That can help you with this trauma or help you with these tower moments, right? And that could be, going and getting a personal reading from a tarot reader, or, seeking some sort of spiritual guidance here. But again, I feel like really just focusing on that connection with spirit is what's going to help you, because I feel like you just feel very disconnected. Tower moments are, very jarring. It causes a lot of pain and a lot of, depending on what your tower moment is. This could be a divorce. This could be, you lose your house, you lose a job, whatever this tower moment is, they are very chaotic, right? And it makes you feel like you don't have the power to control anything. You start doubting yourself. And I totally understand this energy. Like I said, I've been here a lot and numerous times. And I feel like it's just focusing on that light and focusing on your spiritual practice. So in the immediate future, we have the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is kind of like an ego battle card for me. It's, competition, rivalry, but also like working with your ego in a productive way in order to move forward, right? So, if this is like a family situation, it is trying to, when you're dealing with all these people that have strong opinions, knowing that your point of view is important as well. And don't be afraid to like speak up and speak your truth, right? And always want to do that from a kind, loving place, but it is okay to speak up. And that's going to help you have like a better outcome, right? When you speak up and you know your worth and you use that in a productive way, right? Because you could have like all of these annoying delays and circumstances, and it's really asking you to just slow down and pay attention to those details, really deepen that spiritual practice. I feel like you really just need to get connected again. However you connect with spirit, right? Your way will be totally different than mine. We don't all meditate and journal, and I understand that. I always highly encourage it for those that are getting started, but if you already have a practice in place, I feel like now is the time to deepen that. Because like this can also point to like a resolution or some type of agreement being reached after an argument or after some kind of tower moment. This is really finding solutions to overcome those. So, in your thoughts and feelings, we have the Ace of Cups, and the aces are gifts from spirit. With the Ace of Cups, this is some kind of new emotional beginning, right? Like, I feel like after everything you've been through, you're still, open to receiving emotional balance, emotional well-being. This can be you filling your own cup, focusing on self-love, right? Maybe you're feeling empty or depleted, and you really need that self-care, right? Because self-care is not selfish. It's very important, especially when you're going through a tower moment. And focusing on your healing, your connection. Take a bubble bath, go get a pedicure, whatever it is that you do. Again, that is your self-love practice. I just feel like it's really time to nourish yourself emotionally, right? Emotionally, spiritually, pour into your cup and fill your cup here. So in the environment, the energy that is around you right now, we have the sun. So there is like some clarity and optimism that is going to come in here that's surrounding you. There will be, information coming in and, maybe even shining the light on some things, right? Every time I see the sun, I think of that bright light in the sky, and it's just like shining the light on things, right? So, there could be some pessimism and some confusion coming in here because of that tower moment. It does cause a lot of chaos. So, again, really focus on your intuition and pouring into yourself. Focus on self-love here. So, in your hopes and fears, we have the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is about truth and honesty, communication. I feel like you are really hoping for truth, clarity, communication in a situation, right? So, if this was a tower moment that was, the loss of a job, maybe you're hoping for, to communicate with the person that let you go, or the HR department, whatever it is. Or maybe you're hoping to get clarity in the situation in some way or another. If this was about a relationship, maybe you're hoping for the truth of the situation, right? And get some clarity on what exactly happened here. I just feel like there's a need to, I always see that sword like cutting through the BS and really like being honest and being truthful. I just really feel like you are hoping for some kind of truth and some kind of communication in order to move forward, right? And then taking a decisive, logical action here. So the potential outcome is the high priestess. And again, the high priestess is that connection to the divine. This is trusting your intuition and trusting your inner self and that inner knowing that you have, right? She is all about the things behind the veil. And this illuminates what's been hidden. So I feel like things are going to come to light, right? Especially with this truth card. I feel like you're going to learn something that has maybe been hidden from you or things have been like under the surface. And maybe that's what kind of caused this tower moment, right? Like maybe if this is, you losing a job, then you're going to get the truth of the situation, like what really happened. Or if this is the loss of a relationship, you're going to learn the truth about what really happened, because the high priestess is also about like, secrets and, um, things that have happened, and then getting those answers that you seek, right? And also trusting your intuition, because that internal knowledge is really going to be very, very important. I feel like this is you just needing to reconnect with self and your spiritual practice, like deepen that connection that you have. Because a tower moment can catch you off guard, and maybe it's because you weren't trusting your intuition and that it happened, right? Or you were doubting yourself, and then this tower moment happens, and now it has you feeling a little out of control or chaotic, right? I just feel like self love, self care, however you do that, again, it'll be different for each of you. And then reconnecting with your spiritual practice and deepening that connection with your guides. Like I said, I meditate, I journal, I walk. I like to swim because I like the water. The water is very healing for me. Or take a bath if that's good for you. Whatever works for you. I feel like it's what you really need to focus on, and really connecting again with source in order to move through this. But all in all, I feel like you will like reconnect with spirit and just keep pouring into yourself, right? The truth is going to come out, the truth of this situation. So I hope that message helped, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.